Welcome to the Happy Humanoid's Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Ooh, thank you, Homer Simpson. Welcome to our show. My name is Miles Keever. I'm certified for sure, Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator. And I'm joined here with my lovely bride.
Yes, Edith Ball, certified, Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator as well.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to our show, our 53rd show today.
53.
Yeah. Who is choosing? You, someone else, or something else?
Well, me, of course. I am the one choosing. I am the master of my own domain.
Yeah. Do you think you are? Yeah. You're aware of that, but do people are aware? But are people aware that they always choose?
Well, I think it's funny because it's like I don't really think that I'm choosing for myself. I don't really think that I'm like logically I would say, oh yeah, well I'm making my own choices. A lot of my choices are based on the way I was raised, the points of view that I've bought as real, the influences of the environment, the influences of my past, my experience, my history, the people that I acquaint myself with, and so many things. So I really wonder how much of what I choose for my life and how much do we choose for ourselves. I'm from North Carolina, can you tell? How much do we choose for ourselves? And how much of it is just this reality's influence and a reality shaping us to choose from autopilot, or like we're on autoresponder, like there's this automatic response to the choices that we make. And I think it's a good thing as far as like our body, not our body, but our mind tries to eliminate the overload of having to deal with so many possibilities or so many choices, I guess. So we put those on sort of automatic response to where we just accept those as a reality. And what we would like to do, or what I would like to do tonight, is to clear all these points of view. Maybe we may not get to all of them, but at least clear a bulk of the points of view about choices that we would like to change and choices that we may not be aware of that we're buying into someone else or some other thing's points of view, but sort of picking our own fights or picking our own awarenesses and actively choosing for ourselves. And I think for myself, it's a new young muscle that I'm developing to actually become aware and to choose for me, because there's so much influence of all this other stuff. So yeah, let's begin. Everywhere that we have points of view or everything that we believe that we are choosing for ourselves, and what we're truly choosing is the unconsciousness of where we're not choosing for ourselves. Will you please destroy and uncreate all of that time a godzillion?
Right, wrong, good and bad, puck and puddle, 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. The thing is, if your life is not, if you have some domains in your life, some areas of your life that you don't like, that are not, you're not at ease with it, or it doesn't correspond to what you would like to have or to live, it's probably because you let something other than you choose it. Yeah. And sometimes it's so
discreet, subtle,
thank you.
Yeah.
That we don't realize it until we become aware of that. So yeah, what we want to do tonight is try to awaken, or maybe
bring an awareness to,
or trigger your whatever is in you, and by question and all that, for you to become aware of what it is. And often when we become aware, well, we can make a choice. We can make a choice even if we're not aware. It's not a condition to become aware to choose something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier when we're aware of things.
Right.
So who chooses for you? As I said, when there are some domains of our life who don't work or we would like to function differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's about asking question. Well, first, okay, who is choosing here? Do I choose? Am I choosing here, or do I let something else choosing for me? Do I let someone bigger than me choosing for me? And one of the things that people will use, one of the comments that we can use is, I don't know what to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you knew? What if you've always known? What if, you put, okay, so everywhere, everything you put between you and your knowing, you and you, to not recall, to not remember, or to forget what you know. Well, create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shorts, boys and beyonds.
And all the time where you desire to not know things, or everywhere they told you that your knowing is not good, you cannot trust your knowing, it's disturbing, well, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shorts, boys and beyonds. It's interesting that you bring that up about like not knowing, or the idea that we don't know what to choose, or we don't know what we desire. And I wonder how much of that is like, Edith, we were talking this morning on the beach, which was lovely, lovely sunrise this morning. The idea of, where do we choose from? And like, there's this idea of, do I choose from perfection? Do I allow like perfection to make my choices for me? Am I waiting for something to be perfect before I'm choosing something? And I'm wondering if that's part of the idea of not knowing. Like maybe it's not the not knowing or not being aware of what we desire, or maybe it's just I wonder if it's like a protective mechanism that we have in place that keeps us from choosing what would be fun. Because if we allow ourselves to be in this space of imperfection, so-called imperfection, be in this space of not quite ready to do something, being in this space of spontaneity, and just allowing that energy of what would be fun for us to choose and not making it wrong. Because I think a lot of what I've done in the past is not allowed myself to choose something because I maybe wasn't ready for it, or I thought I didn't have it right, or maybe didn't think that I was, for whatever reason, prepared or whatever. And I wonder how much of that is just our way to not choose and to stay the same. So everywhere that we are listening to the voices of distraction as a way to not choose the grandiose, expansive, joyful life that we could be choosing, will you please destroy and uncreate all of that time as a godzillion?
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, puck and putt, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Sometimes, do you see yourself, have your feeling, your emotion, your affection for someone choosing for you, instead of you choosing for you? How many times in the past I let my feeling or the caring that I had for someone choose for me, even if I didn't want to do something, because I was like, I guess, touched. Or I thought that my feeling, that's the thing too, I thought that my feeling were the guidance for me to choose whatever was at the time. I was not in the space to create more. It was more like what would be the best thing, or the right thing to do is about following my feeling, or choose to not feel a certain way, so I better choose to behave this way. So everywhere But and what if there is another way to choose for you instead of going into your feeling emotion world and ask question? Like one of the question is, if I choose this, what will my life be in 5 years?
Yeah.
And be present to the energy that this question will create, because every question every question, when we ask that kind of question, every question creates an energy. And if it creates a lightness or an expansion, this is what it will create in your life. And if it creates an heaviness or a contraction, well, this is what it will create in your life. And of course, if I choose this and if I don't choose this, what will my life be in 5 years? So it gives us, and again, receiving the energy that if you choose this, because every choice creates something, it creates an energy. And by just allowing you to receive this energy, not trying to figure it out, but to receive it, well, that's another way of functioning for you, to choose for you, and to create something different. Because if we continue to choose what we choose, guess what? We're going to have the same kind of life. So everywhere. So what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about choosing from your emotion, about using your emotion, your feelings, and your caring as a way for you to choose for you, and in a certain way create your future. And everything that is will, create and destroy it all thanks to God's own.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, on shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, being in a relationship, like our relationship, is interesting because we have this, I would say, this energy of contribution to each other. And there's also this feeling of, not wanting to choose something that would, I'd say, influence the other one in a way that was not creative, I'll say. Or like we're like sort of protective of each other in a sense. Like sometimes when you choose something, you said that you don't want to choose something that might upset me or whatever, So there's all this baggage that we bring into our life at this moment. And then when we're in a relationship, we get to look at that, we get to see how, like today I said, we were asking about, where do we want to park? And you were thinking, I said, and you said we could park wherever I wanted to park. And there's this, for you guys listening, there's this one place that we usually park that's very close, and we can it's very easy. And sometimes I'd like to park further down. It's a little bit more isolated. And Edith prefers, for the most part, the closer one, and sometimes I prefer the one further away. So today she was saying, well, you can just park wherever you want to park. And then I was like, well, today I don't have a point of view. And Edith, you were saying that you had this sense that you were like needing when you do what I desire to do, there's sort of like you give up something of you, or something like that. And that's like, where does that come from? What is that? Who's choosing at that point? What is it that's in that history, or that voice from another relationship or some other dynamic that's present and sort of the mediator of what we're choosing? And that happens so much in our relationship. Like if I'm choosing something and if I don't choose for me, I think I'm trying to sort of, the idea is protect you, Edith, or something, it's a weird dynamic because it doesn't protect you, and it just makes this icky energy come up, and it's not necessarily smooth. So it's like this idea that we have to be a certain way. We have to be a different way with each other. Like we have to sort of choose for other people with their ideas in mind, whether it's relationship, or if it's your boss or your family or your neighbor or the person that's at the grocery store. There's always this dynamic of, not for everyone I've noticed, but for a lot of humanoids, they're like looking out for other people and seeing how their choices will affect them. And maybe it would be much greater for us to choose for us in a way that creates the evolution of who we truly be, more than trying to make sure everyone's okay, because in a sense that's being, when I'm doing that, that's me being superior, like that what I choose is going to, that I have power over someone else to where what they're going to choose. Or it's like assuming that what I'm going to do is going to create something. And it's not true. It's just my own idea or my own projection of what I think will occur. And things go much better when we choose for ourselves from a space of creating more for us. Like when Edith chooses for herself, it's so light and so energetic, and it's so nice to be around that. And the same when I choose for myself. There's so much more energy created. There's so much more joy and contribution on both parts. So everywhere that we think that we must choose to accommodate the projections of how we think other people are expecting us to choose, we destroy it and uncreate all of that times a gazillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, balls and beyonds. Does money choose for you? Do you let money choose for you? Like, do you, you're in front of a beautiful piece of clothes and you are very attracted to it, and this piece of clothes almost talks with you. And, oh yeah, you want it. And then you look at the price and you say, oh no, I cannot buy this. So yeah, that kind of thing. Or, you know, you are at the restaurant and you would like to order something and you look at the price and, oh no, I cannot. So yeah, do you let the money choose for you? And this is really a different mindset to have. I remember there was a time where with money I was always worried. And guess what? Because I was holding myself in that kind of thing, in that kind of energetic dynamic about worrying about money. This is what I was creating in my life, not having enough money. And the day that I chose to, I really was totally present with myself and saying, it's over now. It's not the awareness who's going to guide me or is going to prevail on my money situation. It's because worry is just an energy. It's only that. Yeah, it's a distractor. And when we choose, and choosing is about creating a new space. Choosing is about, I didn't know how to do this. I just knew that I didn't want to have this in my life anymore. So I pot and pock all that. I said all the worry that I have in my relationship to money, it's over now, and I pock and pot all that, right and wrong, the bad, pock, all nine shorts, possible, beyond. And I was very firm and very present with myself, with that energy that was there in me, this energy of worry. And I said, no way, I choose. This energy doesn't choose anymore. And I pock and pot until it was, it was gone. Because this is the thing. We are the most potent person in our own lives. We are the one who's choosing. So until this energy was gone, I stayed totally present, and I talk to that energy and I clear this energy until it was gone. And after that, it became so much easier for me. My relationship with money, of course, but the money began to change as well. So it's about, what if it has to begin with a choice? What if you have to begin with a choice? And this choice can be to either pot and pocking the thing that is there, to stop identifying to it, or whatever it is, depending on what you live in your life. So what have you made so vital, valuable, and real? To let everything outside of you or inside of you choose for you. And be at the and depends on everything around you and inside of you for you to choose. And everything that is, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, online shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, I want to touch on something you said there that I think is very interesting. You were talking about like you were pot and pocketing the energy there until it was no longer a factor for you. And I wonder, it's like we personify this energy, whether it's worry or let's just take worry because I'm familiar with that energy. And it's like it's like it becomes its own sort of entity or energy. And it's like it has its own voice, its own character, its own way of being. And it's like it's somehow uh, with us if we allow that to be a partnership or something.
Mhm.
And it has this, it's like it's talking to us constantly, whatever that energy is that's not creating the world that we desire. It becomes its own sort of like we create this, we like give it shape, we give it like a place to stay and take over our house or our life. You know, it's like it becomes this obnoxious roommate that just won't go away, that's just creating destruction. Like if you ever watch these kind of dramas or films that are like you're watching the film and then there's this character that you know that they should not go through this door, but you know that they're going to do it because this is what's going to create the most drama and trauma in their life. This is what that energy does. It's like I know that if I listen to this voice, that it's going to create more drama and trauma. But yet if I'm attached or bought into all the trauma and drama of my life and I think there's not another choice, I'm going to invite that energy back or to maintain its residence in my living. And I wonder how much of the voices that we hear are that kind of lie, because if we're choosing from a space of asking questions and we're going from a sense of does it feel light or heavy, it just eliminates that voice. Because how many times during the day do you, if you acknowledge it or don't acknowledge it, there's this little voice, and it's not annoying, it's just a little voice, maybe it's a loud voice, that is telling you on what to choose. And that's what I wonder. I wonder how much of those voices in our head are all the different energies of distraction and energies of keeping us small. So everywhere that we're everywhere that we're renting out space in our living for the trauma and drama energy to help us create the disastrous world that we're creating, will you please destroy and uncreate all of that and tell them to get the hell out now, times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and puddle, nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Does time choose for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Not for me. Oh no, never done that. We didn't have a conversation about that today, did we? No, we didn't.
yeah, does time choose for you? When you're in front of your day in the morning. Okay, what am I doing today? What am I create? What is required of me? Do you choose what you have to do? And the first thing that comes up is time. Do I have the time to do this?
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that the best use of my time?
yeah, it can be that too.
Mm-hmm.
It can be that too. Where I want to go with this is when you look at this and how many judgments are required for you to try to put something in, create a space for your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about his creation. If you have to create something, creation can be spontaneous. Creation can be, and sometimes, of course, it takes some time. But where I want to go with this is that is it time that prevails in your choice, or if you allow yourself to choose whatever is light for you, whatever is will be fun, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, time is, it's like you can put even age on there, like time. It's like, well, I don't have enough time in my life, or if I were younger, I would have done this, or it's like there's just so much stress about time, and time doesn't even exist. There's just this energy, like you were saying, Edith, of like if I'm choosing something, if I choose it, then I get things done so much faster than I'm not worrying about the time or whatever. And you had mentioned that the class that you did this weekend with Diva, how what was she saying? Oh, about how she has to have so many things going on at once, so she tricks herself into getting things done. It's like
To complete.
yeah, to get things complete. There's like I forget what law it is, but whatever amount of, if you have an object or you have a project to do, and if you have 4 hours to do it, it'll take 4 hours. If you have that same project to do and you have 20 minutes, it'll take 20 minutes. It's the I'll think of it, whatever. But anyway, that's just a weird thing that we try to create. We create the space we create the distraction to fill the space. I think that we fill space a lot, and we don't create space. In this reality, we try to fill space with stuff, with thoughts, with emotions, with dramas and traumas, instead of having the space. So that's what I want to say about time. It can be like an age thing too. There's so much about that. So everywhere that we're choosing the distraction of time as a way to not choose the ease of creation, and to use that as an excuse to not have the desired life that we require. Will you please destroy and uncreate all that times Godzillion?
Yes, right and wrong, good, bad, but puck, all nine shorts, bows and beyonds. And what about this thing about the past? Do you let the past choose for you?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I cannot choose for me because my dad was very severe and I could not do this, and I still have problem for me to choose for me, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. So if you I just want to remind you that if this is your way of being in your life, you let your past choose for you. You don't choose for you in the present, because choosing is about being present to the moment and choosing something now. And I think I said it before, but I'm not sure if I explained it this way, but choosing now can be something that has never been created. Choosing is often something that will bring, when we choose consciously something, when we are aware of our choice and we choose from awareness, we probably go in a direction that we never went before. We're going to choose to something different. Because if we choose from the past, we're going to always have the same kind of life, do the same kind of thing, and have this kind of a boring life. And there are people for whom it's okay. If it works for you, cool. I remember that there was a time in my life where I was totally aware of that my life was always the same. And I was okay with that. This is where I was at that moment. And today that would be different, because I'm not in the same space. And I realized that this creative energy that I am, because as a humanoid, we have all this energy of creation in us. And the more we allow this energy to be present and to move us and to bring us in new space, while our life becomes lighter, more fun. And it's not always the same thing every day. So things are shifting.
Yeah.
So everywhere you let your past choose for you, everywhere you blame, because we blame the past, or we put the responsibility or the responsibility of the past. This is why I'm like this.
Right.
And you let the past choose for you instead of you choosing for you now. Well, you now want to create and destroy it all times a Godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, on shorts, boys and beyonds. It can also be with, like you were saying, with the past or history. It could be like, well, this has never been done before. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, how could I do that? It's never been done before. And also it could be like health related, like the genetics or the DNA, how someone, whether they have a family history of having this kind of disease, or a family history of always being lazy, or a family history of not handling money very well. All this stuff that we've using the past as a way to not create or not to choose something. That's using the past as a way to create our life. You know, that we're creating our life based on the history of the family, whatever that is, or the history of the world, and however that looks. And it's not from the space of creating forward. It's all about justification and not, it's like you were saying, not choosing for your life today and creating for your life today, because there's such a different dynamics and a different energy of creating something in your life. And I was thinking about this today, and it doesn't have to be anything great, you know, just like doing something that feels expansive, something that like we may not, like when I was working on a project, it was something that I haven't learned before. And there's a sense of like, wow, this is cool. This is, I like this. That's creating, you know, it's not necessarily making $100,000 a year or whatever. It's just like there's this creation that's happening that's expansive, and it's the contribution. Excuse me. So everywhere that we're, again, using the past, whether it's through the genetics or the history of the world or the history of our family or the history of how things should be done, as a way to deny, reject, and refuse the lightness of creation that we truly be, we destroyed and uncreated all that times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good, bad, puck, puck, all nine shorts, belows and beyonds. And the thing is, you always choose. Mm-hmm. Even if you have you have a sense that you don't choose, that you feel obligated, mm-hmm. or that you're not able to do something, this is what you choose. You choose, I choose to not be, and I'm not able to do something, yeah. And I invite you to be present to this. Okay, I choose to not be able to do this. Mm-hmm. I choose to be obligated to this. And allow yourself to be in this and indulge yourself for 3 days, 5 days, 1 week to be in this and see how it shifts. If it will shift something in your universe. Yeah. Or I choose to not choose.
Mm-hmm. But that's still choosing.
Yeah, it's still
choosing something.
Yeah.
It's like the autoresponder of choice. It's like by not actively changing the choice, automatically the choice that we've chosen in the past is the choice that we choose now, unless we change, make another choice. So everything that brought up, we just read. Well,
yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pot on these shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah, so we could continue, but I guess we're going to choose to end this show because the time is over, unless you had something you would like to have.
There's lots of topics on the choices that we make and like the voices, that there's entities and demons and like all kinds of stuff. But excuse me.
Yeah, so let's finish with 2 questions about the poo and the chaos. Yeah, so the poo is the new acronym for points of order. So all the point of order you are using to create the no choice universe you are choosing, well, you know, create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on shorts, boys and beyonds. Do you have one more?
Yeah. All the
I thought you had to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How much chaos can you instill that will allow you to choose with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for another delightful show. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.